Yeah, welcome back. So as I said, companies will prefer performance testing and teams will be smaller teams, but all the teams will use using this tool like LoadRunner or Jmeter. You can perform the task of all the other 10 to 100 people's task. That's the reason why performance testing team will be minimum, but the revenue generated by the performance testing is much more than compared to any other testing. That's the reason why performance testers will get higher package than compared to functional testers. Now coming back to our tools. Then using these tools, how do you do the performance testing? So here the thing is, whether you use Jmeter or LoadRunner, how can we do the performance testing using either Jmeter or LoadRunner? To to explain this, I'll just so let us assume you are trying to access a particular bank application. Let us say it's a HDFC. Okay. Let us say HDFC Bank, online banking, and you are trying to you log in and you want to see your account summary. Okay, put a bigger button. After login, normally we'll check your account summary, right? Let us say you want to check your summary. So here, when I say you are logging into performance, I mean you are this thing banking application, and how many modes you can log in? How do you log in? I mean, how do you access your bank application? Normally, if you want to access any bank application, how do you access? There are two ways, right? One is you open from your laptop, you can access, right? Another thing is from your mobile. The basic thing I'm asking, not app or whatever. First, what should I have if I have to open my log into my bank application? What are the things I need to have? Either you should have a laptop, or nowadays everyone is you can check your thing from your mobile apps. So in mobile, maybe the application would be different, but assume that in mobile also you open and you're trying to access. So either in mobile or in your this thing, what I would say, laptop. How do you access? So this is a what I would say. This is the application built, right? Web application, HDFC Bank application. How do you log in? You need a browser, right? From your laptop. Let us assume, just forget about mobile. You open your laptop and you want to log into your application, your banking details, and you want to check your banking, your account summary, balance, everything. So you open your laptop, you open your browser. From the browser, you will connect with this. You enter the URL, whatever, and you open this on your browser. You logged in. Now, normally when you logged in or when you click any button on this banking application that is in your browser, let us assume here, this is my, what is your, say when I open this and when I click on any button, where do you think your request will go? So this is your banking application, right? Anywhere from either laptop or mobile, you open the same browser, you want to try and log in, or you also already logged in and clicked on your summary report or whatever. So where do you think that request will go? Say when I'm clicking any link, what is happening here? The request has to go to somewhere, right? Where do you think that request will go? When I click on any button, let it not be only banking. Yeah, it goes to the bank server, right? So when you click on any button, the request should go to bank server. Then only you'll get the output, right? Now tell me what kind of servers you have normally in any application. If I have to put my application in the internet, I should have three basic servers. In real time, there will be hundreds of servers, but if I want to put any my application, like we have built our site, right? Which one I'm sharing? Hold on. Let me. I want to see. This is our site. If I want to have like my own site, how many servers I need? Minimum. I'm not saying maximum. So minimum, you need three servers. Okay. First one would be web server. So types of servers. How many servers you know? You can name. Please name any server name you have. Web server and any other server name. Any other server name you know? You can speak. I want this class to be a
Database.
yes, database server and
App server.
okay, very good. So you need these three basic servers. Okay, application server already. Yeah, app server, application server, both are same. Okay, whether you say it as an app server or we call it as a database server, both are same. Okay, so it is a app server. And then the last one, what we need here is as someone said, it's a database server, right? If I have these three servers, I can host my application in the internet, whether it's a big application, small, whatever. I should have these three applications. I mean, sorry, servers. First one is web server, and next one is this is DB server. Okay. Now you tell me there are three servers we have. Okay, one is web, another one is app, another one is DB server. So when normally any user clicks on any button, okay, normally when the user clicks on any button, where do you think the first request will go? There are three servers. In real time, there are hundreds of there, but minimum servers required is three. So now I just logged into my application. Okay. So here I clicked on some button, can be anything or anything, even in Amazon also. So I want to check something. So now if you observe the request in the background, okay, the request is going to some server. Where do you think the first request goes to? Which server it will go first? Three servers
Maybe
are
web
there.
server. Web.
Yeah, who said web? Yeah, who said web?
Yeah, it's me, Sachin.
Yeah, correct. First request always goes to the web server. So why it is going to the web server? What do you mean by web server? First you need to understand, then you'll understand the concept here. Web server is required if I have to host anything on my on anything on the internet. Like if I am accessing any data, for example, here in this application, You see all these text, everything, right? Content, whatever you see, all this content is actually coming from your web server. Okay, if I have to get all this information from the server, you need a web server. If you don't have a web server, you cannot view anything on the your browser. So the name itself says web server. So when we access any application using URL www dot, so that means it is connecting that web server. From the web server, it will get all the text on display on your screen. And then from here, the request goes to the app server. Normally in the app server, what it will be there? In the app server, will have all the application code. For example, this application is built on different technology, .NET. It is built on either Java, Python, or PHP. Different technologies, right? Programming languages. If they have built in .NET or some other technology, that entire code has to be deployed in your app server. That's why it is called application server. Your application code will be there in your application server. From application server, it goes to your database server. Okay. Say for example, you are trying to get the summary, right? So first the request goes to the web server, and from web server it is diverted to the application server. In the application server, it will execute the code written by your developers. The software developers, they'll write some code, right? Just execute this or something. So it will be executed. The entire code will be there in your application server. So when they write a code for button click, that code will be executed in your application server. And to give you the results, actually all the results, see your banks, your banking number, your balance, everything has to be saved in somewhere, right? So normally it will save your banking details will be saved in your database in the form of tables, right? Your name, your account number, your banking balance, if you have done any transaction, everything will be saved in your database. So this code will call that database queries that are there in your database. And here in this database, the query will be executed, like select star from whatever. Some queries will be right from this table where the application or account number is something, some kind of queries will be executed. And after executing, it will get some results, right? That results will be sent back to your this one application server. Now the application server will get the results and it will send it back to your web server. Okay, and through web server you'll get the information back to your browser. Okay, this is how any transaction will happen when someone clicks any button, but we don't feel it, but this happens within seconds. Okay, first it goes to the web server. From that it goes to app. From app it will fetch the results from the database and it will send it back to the web server. From web server only you can see this thing, whatever the page you are seeing, only possible if you have a web server. Now this entire time taken between traveling from web server to DB to web server and getting back to your onto your computer screen, this is called server response time. So the entire performance testing will be on this server response time. So there are ideal time. How much time will it take to get the results from or the page from all the servers? It should be within seconds. So ideal time would be like 4 seconds or 5 seconds. If I say that my application is very good in performance, when you click any button, the request will travel through all these servers and it will get back to your browser within 4 to 5 seconds. Otherwise, we'll treat this as a bad performance. Now, when you see here in this case, when I launch this application, let us launch this bullet one. Now it is taking time, right? So why this is taking this much of time? The issue could be different. See, this is taking time. So what is the cause for taking time? That we need to identify as a performance tester. The issue could be either here, either the issue could be here, or the issue could be here, or the issue could be here. So our job is to identify why it is taking a lot of time. It is not only just time related, many things are there. It could be database query that is taking too long, or code they have written not in a proper manner, or web server itself is not responding properly. How do you know? As a performance tester, will monitor all the servers and tell them that, okay, the issue is with this one. So what you can do is you can replace, or you can add a new server or something. So all these servers will have some common things. What? They'll have a CPU. These are server statistics. Memory, hard disk, right? Say for example, in some server CPU is not properly responding, it is going beyond 100%. Then you just ask them to add another CPU. And if memory means what? RAM. The RAM is not enough to take the, the memory size is very slow, like, I mean, very less, like 4 GB. But in servers, you need at least 12 GB. So these kind of assessment we'll do and send it back to our customer saying that to improve the performance of your application, you have to do these things. Okay, this is just a broader picture I'm trying to get you. Here, you will not test the functionality, or you will not touch the front end, how it is looking. Our aim is to test the servers, not the application. Just remember this thing in your mind. Okay, guys. So once you understand this, then we can start our performance testing. So how do you do the performance testing using this Jmeter or load runner? So normally what we'll do is you'll create a script using Jmeter. What do you mean by creating script? It is nothing but, say, for a normal testing scenarios, you have a manual tester, they have a scenario, right? The same scenarios will execute using our performance testing tools. For example, there is a scenario wherein the user has to log in. First, user has to log in, then select some product, add the product, and make the payment and log out. That is one scenario. The same scenario will create a script using our performance testing tool called either load runner or Jmeter. So in this case, let us assume we are using Jmeter. So these tools will act as a proxy. So what do you mean by proxy? You might have heard this word many times, right? Proxy and proxy interviews. So what do you mean by proxy interview? After COVID, we heard many
Duplicate.
times. Not exactly correct. Duplicate is not the, say what your intention is correct, but not duplicate is not correct. Proxy means,
Secondary person is giving interview
yes, correct.
instead of the actual one. Yeah.
Right. See, proxy means what? Instead of you, I am giving your interview and answering all the answers, and I'm clearing the interview. But actually, you are not giving the, but people think that you are giving the interview, right? On behalf of you, someone else is giving the interview. That is proxy. The same thing, these, monitoring, say, performance testing tools will work as a proxy. How? When we create, when you install this Jmeter or load runner on your laptop, and when you create a script using these tools, what these tools will do is these tools will monitor all the traffic that is going from your browser through your servers. It will capture those network traffic, and it will create the script when you create. And when we say, when you install in Jmeter, it will keep on monitoring your network traffic through some kind of port number. So what is port number? That is, I will explain later. Port number is nothing but it is like gateway of or a door through which you can travel. For example, see here, when you click on some button, the request is going to be some server, right, from your laptop. So how does it go from your laptop to the server? It has to come out of your laptop and go to the server, right? Frankly speaking, but now it is everything is Wi-Fi. But how do you think the information is coming out of your this thing laptop? Just assume, see, you are in your house, okay? Now you need to go to your some kind of market, right? How do you come? How do you go to the market? You have to come out of your house, right? So when you come out of your house, see, this is, let us assume the same thing. Now, how if you want to come out of your house and make a communication with something else, or you want to go to market, the same thing. How you are coming out? From door, right? You are not coming out of from either top. You won't coming out of either from back side. There is a proper way. So every house has some doors. Even bedroom has door, kitchen has door. But if I have to go out, you come out only your front door. The same thing here is, if the information has to go out from your browser, they have some port numbers. Just remember this port number. It depends on like what kind of application you're trying to access, which door you want to come out. There are like port numbers are like logical doors, you can say, through which the information will go out. In the internet, there are like two types. One is HTTP and HTTPS. HTTP is for normal. HTTPS is added security. So if I have to, the information has to come out of your browser, go to the server of HTTP, they'll use a port called 8080. You might have heard this. For HTTPS 443. So these are the port numbers used by the internet. We don't use. Internet people, they have already said these numbers. So when we are accessing anything, this communication is happening through these doors. That you can't visualize it, but it is happening behind. The same thing when we create a script using Jmeter, it will also capture all the request and response and create a script. And when you replay the script, it will act as your browser Chrome. When it acts as your Chrome, you need to mention through which door the information has to go. So that you have to give any number, 4-digit number you can give, like 8888 or 8282, any number you can give. Through that door only it will go to the server. So this is called port numbers. So if it is confusing, don't get it. I will explain it in detail in coming classes. Okay. Only the thing is, Jmeter will act as a proxy. That means when you create a script, when you run your script, it will act as if you are opening the Chrome browser. From Chrome browser, you are trying to access anything, just like record and replay. So I have recorded this action, like I just logged into Amazon. I want to buy this product. This is thing you're just recording in a video. When you replay the video, what happens? The same thing will be replayed, right? Here in Jmeter also the same thing will happen. So with Jmeter, you'll record one script, and when you replay, the same thing will be repeated. After repeating, the main advantage here is, when you create a script, you create as a one user. But when we replay, you can put the user load as 100 or 1000 or 10,000 people. User load you can put on the server, and we can see how the server is strong and whether the server is weak or not. All those things we can test using our Jmeter tool. So this is nothing but performance testing. We are testing the performance of the servers. not the application UI. So this thing you need to understand basic, and then we can proceed with actually how to start with Jmeter, how to start scripting. These are all things you will anyway you will learn. These are the basic concept you need to understand. What do you mean by performance testing? And performance testing, what we are going to try to test here? We are testing only the servers and their capacity and their performance. Understood? Right. So we'll continue tomorrow with how to install Jmeter and what all the basic components of Jmeter. And after that, we'll start the scripting. Okay, guys? Yeah. Any doubts or any questions regarding placement, you can ask me, or you can ping me separately. We have openings
Hello.
coming for both load runner and Jmeter. Okay. Yeah.
In our course, are we covering Dynatrace?
Yeah, we will arrange Dynatrace classes also. Okay. So our colleagues who are already working in real time, I will arrange classes with them. So Dynatrace, it is not accessible to anyone. At least we can access load runner, but Dynatrace is not accessible to outside people. So what we'll do is we'll arrange this session with people who are already working as a performance test engineer. So those classes are very important. Okay, mostly questions will come from that class, but it is just 1 or 2 class. You'll get everything because it is not you won't be creating any script in Dynatrace or monitoring tools. You need to learn how to monitor. That's the navigation flow. If you understand, that's enough. In monitoring tool, there is nothing like you have to write some code or script or anything. That's why 1 or 2 classes are enough for that. So we'll arrange that with our colleagues. Okay. So they'll charge for that. That will take care. Like for each class they'll charge something. That is also included in our fees. Okay, not extra. Okay. Yeah. See you tomorrow at same time, 9 AM.